Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm just Turl. You ever been out somewhere and overheard two people having crazy conversations?
Yeah, well, we are those people. We've been having these conversations since college.
Yep, it's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts podcast, 90 Day Fiance Love in Paradise recap, season 3, episode 10. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
Not
Finger
the finger
guns.
snap.
Leave a review.
For those of you new to the show, here's the deal. There was a point in time when Terrell watched reality TV. Then he was like, you know what? I'm done with this crap. So he made a deal with the devil. Said he'd never watch reality TV again until, there was a Black Bachelor. I don't know why he chose that show because come the pandemic, guess what happened? They said, let's give the black guy a chance. And they did. And to Matt James, he stuck watching it. Me being the good friend that I am, I decided to watch it with him. And then, in return, him being the good friend that he is, he decides to watch one of my favorite shows reluctantly. I might want to put that in there. He decides reluctantly to watch one of my favorite shows, Married at First Sight. That was, season 13? And here we are, a couple years later, still going strong on this reality TV dating recap. And he's not going to admit it, but he likes this.
No, and especially not this one. But nope, I don't. I don't. I enjoy this interacting with the folks and actually like hanging out with you 2 or 3 times a week remotely. So, and I'm glad it's remotely. I wouldn't want to do it in person.
Well, yeah, because I wouldn't want to smell your Dracar Noir and your jupe that you put on every day before you come on to to a virtual meeting.
Today it's Prada. I'm wearing Prada today.
Oh, now is it Prada with 2 A's or 2 D's? Just one. That's all you had to say. Just check it. I mean, I didn't know where you got it from. Could have got it from the outlet mall. Or you could have got it from the outlet flea market. You know?
Come on, I'm bougie. What about this says I go to the flea market to buy perfumes and colognes? Nothing.
Hey, you know
not
what?
My style.
You could surprise us.
No, I wouldn't surprise you with that.
Like, there's a better chance I show up with 3 kids, 2 wives.
Yeah.
Well, look, as we get into this week's episode, man, it looks like we're winding down on this season, right? And as we kick things off this week, we are starting with this wonderful couple that you just happen to love so much, Jessica and Juan.
Jessica and Juan. So she's heading back to the cold of Wyoming, and Juan's ready to get back on the ship, get some action.
Yeah, I mean, he only got limited action here because apparently, Megan has been running interference the whole time. Like, she was supposed to, really run interference with the kids. Instead, it seemed like she was blocking the intimacy between Jessica and Juan. But, so here it is. Jessica, her spoiled boys, and her security guard, they're leaving. And I think Juan did a good job of talking to the boys before they left for the airport. I mean, I like the conversation she had with them, right?
It did. I mean, I think he did a good job bonding with the boys. I know that have to be tough. They did get a chance to have some alone time, maybe not like what they would want, thanks to Megan being there. And I mean, she had the morning sickness going on too, so maybe she wasn't. I have no idea if you have morning sickness, do you still want to get it on at night? Probably not, I would think, but I don't know. Plus, if I just saw you going, I would be like, I can't, can't touch you, babe. You just threw up. I can't.
However, I still see it was like, okay, that was this morning. It's nighttime. It's morning sickness, not nighttime sickness. What are you doing?
That was hours ago. Just look that way. You don't have to breathe in my face. Just look that way.
Matter of fact, this is, we like dogs, right?
That's what I say, baby. See those dogs on over there? Huh? Huh?
It really feels like Juan is, feeling the pain of Jessica and the kids leaving. And, like you said, at least until he steps foot on that ship and is like, time to make some tips.
Get that money. Yeah, I mean, that temptation's going to be there, and he's on the ship for what, 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's going to come out there for 2.
Yeah.
So,
After
yeah,
2 months, yeah.
yeah, he's ready to go get some. Maybe he's get some action. Maybe he's just happy to have a break from the boys.
Yes.
That has to been a lot.
Yes.
If you've never had kids around you, and then those two clingy boys, yeah, that would be a lot.
Not just clingy. Those boys are rude as hell. Let's be honest. Those boys were like, yeah. I was like, those are the kids that, when people are like, hey, would you like the baby? No. Because the minute they say, you're not my daddy, and you got to go pull them out the wall, I don't want to have to go to the cops. Okay? Look, Darren is right there with us. Says Juan is ready to go make those tips. Debbie says, I quit watching the show, but I enjoy your reviews. Thank you, Debbie. We definitely appreciate you. And No Channel says, agrees with you. Juan is going back to kid-free, living free, laissez-faire, hands off. I know that's a different language, but still, he's just ready for it. Matter of fact, he'll probably speak like 4 or 5 different languages after those kids leave, just because.
Well, he's kid-free, and he's also Megan-free.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's that too. Megan the whole time giving him side eye.
Yes.
And he can feel it. He just knows that she's talking crap under her breath. So he's happy to be done with her too. So who knows? What do you think? What's your prediction? Is he going to walk the straight and narrow while he's on the cruise before he goes to Wyoming? Or do we think that he's gonna do a little something strange for some extra change?
If he is smart, he'll make sure there's at least a trip in between before Jessica gets on the trip. He's going to make those tips. He's got to finish the housing back in Colombia so that he's able to, at least rent it out and make some Airbnb money, some rental money. So he's going to flirt. Is he going to cheat? I'm going to take this man at his word and think that he's not cheating. Okay.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We shall see.
Darren says Juan is hoping for a singles cruise. Aren't they all? Look, even the Disney cruise is probably singles cruise.
Now, Disney cruise will be a bunch of kids. It's going to remind him of those 2 boys. So our next couple, Matthew and Anna, right? It's Matthew's last night in Brazil. And he hasn't seen Anna since he last told her it's going to be about 2 years, which we thought was like, okay, so what's the big deal? But come to find out that he'd lied to her along the way, right? No, I don't think he lied to her. He just didn't tell her
said.
The truth.
Okay, that's called lying. Listen to him, Mr. Liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. That's what lying is. Not telling the whole truth is a lie. And
alternative facts.
He was telling her 8. All right, Trump. See, this is
alternative facts.
This is what happens when you want to see the rest of the video. You're one of those. Terrell is one of those rest of the video. I want to see the whole video, people, right? And that's what you get when you see this in this space, because he told her 8 to 12 months, and now she's like, wait a minute, but this is an extra 2 years. Which it's only when she said that I really understood. Which said it's going to be double the time. Is he playing me for a fool, right? But then she comes to dinner, which he wasn't sure she was going to show up, and it feels like they both have the same concerns.
Well, how are you being played for a fool when he paid to send himself down to Brazil every time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one thing if she was spending her money to come to Dallas, and he's, oh yeah, babe, you're the one. I'll wait. He's losing if he's playing her for a fool. He's losing in that case.
It's Brazil. You've heard the stories of people going to Brazil.
Yeah. And he was going there to see her. Wasn't like just, boys' trip to Brazil, because we know how that ends. But he was going to be with her, so I didn't see the big deal. But what's funny is every time she talks, I wonder, is Anna really not that smart? I don't think it's like a language thing. She just doesn't seem bright.
Why? Why would you say that?
Well, it's the way that she talks. It's almost, and I know she's 27, but it's almost like she's 16 or something. Just really immature
It's
in
that
how she
old man
talks.
you, but continue, please. Go ahead.
Could be. Maybe, yeah.
You know,
maybe
when
I'm
you're
too
like,
old.
oh my God, you're 21. You look so young. That means you're getting. Oh, fellas, if you ever say that, that just means you're getting old. Okay, continue.
Yeah, she just doesn't seem all that sharp when they talk. And then even the whole blow up from last week that fed into this week's episode, it's like she's not done any research at all. She's just trusting whatever Matthew says. When Matthew says it's going to happen, this is when it's going to happen. That just doesn't seem that bright to me.
And you know, it's interesting because someone said this in the comments from last week's episode. Wait a minute, she's an English teacher, and she hasn't Googled anything about how this process works. I understand that, but at the same time, you can Google this, and the things you find online are never going to tell you exactly what it is. Okay, it's not. Let's not act as if everything online is updated. You've come across some sites you're like, wait a minute now. When's the last time you all actually did this? You know what I mean? So don't act as if everything's updated. So she's trusting what he's telling her because he's talking to the people.
Even if, okay, so let's say she didn't Google it. She could do what young people would do is look at past people on the show and just, hey, I'm on this season, season 3 of Love in Paradise. Have a couple questions for you. What was your process like? How long did it take? And she's not the first one from Brazil, right? So she could easily do that without Googling, just reach out to people who've gone through the same process and was on the exact same show easily. Her producer could get her that content info.
Well, yeah, they're not going to give that because they want to provide the drama, of course. Let's be honest. We know what the producers are there for, to get the drama. That's what, as we've noticed in these shows, the more you watch them, the more you notice they're trying to push the drama anyway, right or wrong?
Right. I know they're trying to push the drama. I'm saying that if she wanted to research any of this stuff, and possibly she could have, I don't believe it, but if she really wanted to, she could. She just doesn't come across that sharp to me. And I think if that's what Matthew wants and it makes him happy, great. You're going to have someone that moves to Dallas and you're going to have to like hold her hand and teach her every single thing. Great.
I'm sure she'll be fine. But, you know, Indigo Blue 50 agrees with you and says, when he was praying, then she said, may the force be with you, not bright. Hold up. Let's not act as if the force in Star Wars, you know, is not all about, you know, some sort of religious belief at some core value of it with the force and everything else, this unknown force that we've seen, you know. And if you really want to piss off Star Wars fans, may the force be with you.
Are you about to really nerd out right now on what her comment about Star Wars?
Yes,
you just got you just got upset.
Yes.
Hey. Don't you be talking about Star Wars like that. See, I appreciate JD. JD says, I agree, Terrell. She does seem, or is acting, much younger than 27. I'm just saying.
JD, how old are you? You're not 28. Let's not even pretend. I have no idea who JD is. I know from that comment, definitely not 28.
No, he probably won't. It's probably not 28, but she's not acting like a 27-year-old. But, you know, it teach their own. It is what it is. So she gets over it. And she's like, will you wait for me for 2 years? And of course, he was like, will you wait for me for 2 years? And then when she said, well, anything could happen in 2 years, COVID, apocalypse, a comet, I was like, Jesus.
I think of big things, just like, which I agree. And definitely thinking of the big things and going at, like, look, I like her train of thought here. Anything can happen. It's true. Did we expect COVID to happen?
Well, statistically, people have been saying for a while there's been some type of pandemic that was going to hit us. That actually has been some conversation. Apocalypse, I mean, you know, depending on what church you go to, I've been hearing the end is coming since I was a kid when I went to church. Comet, that's just watching too many movies.
Hey, at this point, we got guns in the house just to make sure when the zombies come, we can at least, you know, kill a couple of them first. Or re-kill, I should say. And by zombies, I mean anybody that doesn't belong inside.
Yeah.
If you don't belong in the house, you don't have an invitation, you're a zombie at this point.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah, officer, all these zombies in my house. Had to
Yeah,
kill him.
right.
Had to kill him.
Hey, I've been watching TV. COVID. I was stuck in the house. I had no. Well, look. The funny thing is, when he asked her if she will wait for him, she's like, "Yes, forever." And then they pinky swear, which was enough reason for her to just be like, "You know what? The hell with this. I'm done." If
Look,
she
you
said
don't-
that at that
you
point, when what?
You don't pinky swear?
Yeah, when I was like 5, 7, maybe 9 at the
I'm
latest.
just saying that's when you pinky swear, that's real. That's like that means something.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying, it's like pinky swear. That to me, that still means something to this day.
Is that what you do now? You pinky swear?
Yeah, that's right. When I'm at the office trying to close deals. All right, gentlemen, let's pinky swear on it.
And look, to my point, I just want to point this out. Thank you, JD, for coming forth and admitting you're not 28. See, 45-year-old queen. Every birthday. That's funny. I celebrate my 21st every year too. I celebrate my 21st until it meets my 20th. You were there for my 20th, so you know. You may not remember, but I do. That was
Yeah, I don't.
Nope. It was a hell of a weekend. But yeah. So
I think I remember now. I think it's coming to me.
Yeah.
I remember that. Me and Darren playing dominoes.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Stop right there. Did
remember.
I say that? My wife watches the show. Stop it. What is wrong with you? Damn it, man.
All I said was me and Darren playing dominoes. Then yeah, that's the rest. I know what else happened.
Oh man! All right, let's move on. Jordan and Everton, back in Jamaica, and Everton is acting blind as to what's wrong with Jordan. But one of the things he does say is that he thinks they need to take some more time to talk about the future some more.
Because after 12 years, you're just not sure. I get it. You with somebody for 12 years, you're like, wait a minute, okay.
What are we
hitting
doing?
That 12-year mark. Are we going to shit or do we get off the pot? Like, what do we do?
Well, to be fair, it's been 12 on and off, okay? And there was COVID in between where she was supporting him. Maybe he just thought she was just looking out for him as a charity case, for just 35 cents a day. Maybe that's, who knows? It could have been anything.
It was on. I'm sure they were either having some video chats, some sexting, all that stuff. I'm sure there was something that was going on. But regardless, I guess
would hope so. Because she doesn't pay for everybody else.
Exactly. So maybe they do need to talk. I'm just thinking after 12 years. But how did Jordan just assume that we were back engaged and we never even had a conversation about that?
Yeah, so she made some assumptions about the relationship, right? Like, okay, we're back together, so we're automatically re-engaged. And this is where the problem's coming, because when you think about the assumptions about a relationship, and I don't know if you've ever made an assumption about a relationship before, or somebody else made that assumption about a relationship, but there's certain things, ladies, you got to keep in mind, there are things that happen that if you set the parameters in the beginning, and yes, things change, but a conversation has to be had at some point for those things to change, especially in a man's eyes, right? Yeah.
I've been a victim to making assumptions,
Do tell.
I'm just saying there were times I thought that we were together. I thought this was going really well. And then you get ghosted.
Are we back to this ghost again?
I'm just saying, I assumed everything was going.
We just talked about it.
Everything was going great, and then you get a breakup text before Christmas, and just whole world flipped upside down. You're like,
Yeah.
So I've made some of those assumptions, but here's the funny thing: is I've made some of those assumptions that things are great, but what I've not done is I've always been pretty upfront about what this is. For the most part, I'm sure there's somebody in my past that could easily come on and be like, that's bullshit. But for the most part, I'm like, hey, we're together. I just want to date. This is just friends with benefits. I want a relationship, whatever.
See, and that's kind of where I thought you were gonna go first, and then you threw that curveball of the Christmas breakup. You know, no Christmas gifts, no New Year's kiss. You know,
Nothing.
but you know, it's interesting because you know you can't meet somebody and talk about, oh, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this, which sounds like moving away and never having that. You know, okay, well, obviously we're just gonna have fun until you leave, and then all of a sudden, hey, what are we doing? What are we doing? See, this is why communication, when they talk about the main thing in a relationship is communication, this is what Jordan and Everton don't have. This communication. Because at what point do you just assume, okay, we're back together, so automatically we are back engaged? Because that engagement has to feel like an engagement. Remember, even when she told her friends, she's like, yeah, well, I don't have a ring, but yeah, we're engaged. They're like, you're not engaged.
Right. But also, if even though the acting is poor, maybe Jordan is just that naive. You know, I mean, really look at this whole relationship and look at everything she's been doing. Takes a mortgage out on her house to help Everton.
Yep.
And obviously Everton's using that money to help a lot of other people. So she's just,
as we'll find out next week,
she's just very naive. And I think for her, that walk to go get water helped her realize, like, this is why Everton can separate business from the relationship. I'm like, no, it's bullshit. What Everton is doing is he's keeping the money train going because you are going to help take care of him and his family and anyone else that he wants. Unbeknownst to you, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, but it's not like it's a come up for them because it's really not anything. They still don't have water. They still haven't moved, right? Darren says they're great at communicating about buying property. Well, you know, here's the thing that pops about that, though. Joslo has a great point. Seems fake. I'd like to see the land in the Cayman Islands. Is there general contractor, architect, permitting, construction, anything to show us this land that they supposedly bought? You know what? I'm gonna take them at their word, as you and I have talked about many times, right? There are things about this that we can say. We can be pessimists about so many storylines in reality TV, right? But one of the things that we made a vow to do as we do this is we're gonna take them at their word until it becomes unfriggin' believable.
Right. I mean, that's all we can do. Take them for the word. That land, maybe in our mind, we're thinking like a huge piece of land.
Yeah.
It could be maybe 1 acre. You know, it could be something small. Have no idea what they bought. And I'm thinking if the plan is, I think they're gonna put apartments and stuff there, right? So he'd probably move his mom and them into it where they have running water,
right,
and don't have to make that long walk.
Right. Exactly. You know, it's really interesting because even No Challenge says 12 years, I just don't understand them. And Steady C says Everton is shiesty. Now, is he, or I mean, is he really taking advantage of her in that manner? Or, I mean, she's really, okay, yes, you say that. More K11 says, sounds like friends with benefits, and Everton is definitely benefiting. Well, so is she, obviously. There's something she's getting out of this. It's been 12 years. Obviously, there's something she's getting out of this.
What is she really getting out of it from Dallas?
I don't know, but I have no idea.
You know what I mean? So it's not like it's like great sex or whatever. She's in Dallas. He's there. She's giving him money.
You
there.
have no idea how great that sex is. It might be good enough to last for a year or two. Who knows?
Okay.
I'm just saying. And JD rarely questions this though. Come on, I'm not the only one wondering. Every week, I just how the heck did he pull Jordan, and what the heck is the matter with her? Something is off. Is there?
Oh, she's a little off. I mean, you got to admit, she's a little off. And I'm not knocking, you know, what she does on OnlyFans to make money. The one to walk around everywhere nude. When your friends come over, you're gonna open the door just nude. Like, she's a little off.
You've never had a friend like that you go over and they open the door nude?
Male friend? No.
I didn't say male friend. I said, have you ever had a friend? She's a woman. So have you ever had a woman friend that when you go over, she opens the door nude?
Have I had that happen? Yes, it was awesome. But
So,
Jordan was about to sleep with her friends that came over to the
you
house. It's a
don't know
big difference. It's a big difference. So, so yeah, I think something's off with Jordan personally.
It's-
And I think Everton is just taking advantage of her.
and it feels like that's the a lot of people are thinking that in the live chat right now. So I mean, I get it. I see why people may think that. And honestly, it's been 12 years. There's a lot of questions about them. A lot of questions. And you don't really see that. And you don't really see that. I haven't seen any lovey-dovey, anything with them at all. It's all conversation. There's been nothing to show that there's this chemistry between the two
Well,
of
the
them.
waterfall when he did the naked photo shoot.
Even then, even look, who was more interested, him or the tour guide?
The tour guide and the camera crew.
Exactly. That cameraman was standing up. Probably more ways than
I'm gonna have to sit down for this one. Just give me about 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Look, we still got a couple more people to get to. We still got Scott and Lydia to get to, and of course, April and Valentin. But before we get there, Latice Thomas says, "Okay, Mr. Prada, the black T-shirt works much better than the white printed one that you wore for the last taping. It's you just being discharged. It gives you just being discharged from the hospital." Because somebody said that in the comments from yesterday's Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, and after they said that, all I see is you in this hospital gown for the entire episode.
I fell out laughing when I saw the comment, and I'm watching. I'm like, now I can't unsee it.
That was actually hilarious. I was like, what the hell? How did I not see that?
I had that on all day too. Went to brunch wearing that shirt. Thought I was cute, but apparently,
Did you
it
get
was
it?
like I just getting out the hospital.
Did you get a discount at the bar? They're like, look, apparently he just got out. Cut him a break.
Yeah. You need some extra vodka in your Bloody Mary. I got you, boss.
Oh my God. Hey, Karen says, leave Terrell alone. No.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you, Karen. I'm glad
No.
somebody has my back.
Why? But why? Your favorite couple is Scott and Lydia. And before we even get there, Trisha Ann had to say, hey, it's Terrell. And hey, it's Yanni. As we talk about, it's Scott. And Lydia.
Listening to Nicole and Lydia talk is just draining.
Why?
It's just painful. Just listen to them both talk. Again, I don't see the purpose of Lydia even being on this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb. They're trying to call Scott a liar, and I'm like, he didn't lie.
Right.
No.
Because, like Nicole said, Scott was lying because he said he hasn't had any communication with his ex, which, to be fair, was a lie.
But to be fair, we would all say that same thing. We're trying to date somebody. I haven't talked to my ex. So, but so even still, listen to Nicole and Lydia just go off, and they're at the spot, and that poor person that was working on Lydia's feet, I'm sure she needs to get an extra. She needs to get an extra tip. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Even from here, I was just like, goodness.
Stop it. You're so bad, man. But look, to your credit, though, Lydia even made the whole model comparison, right? Just not the way you did. She thought she was the advanced model.
No. She's the older model. The other girl, that's the 2023 version.
Well, more like maybe 2018, 2017.
Lydia is a Chevy Nova. They don't even make them anymore. She's a Chevy Nova.
Now, apparently Lydia's pickers off because she likes liars, as Nicole lets out, her daddy had a whole other family, whole other kids, and now there's a Scott. I'm like, so she's only dated and talked to two men in her entire life, huh?
Yeah, and I'm just like, Nicole, pick one, Spanish or English. When you're getting interviewed, you could say it in Spanish and they put the words up because she said, "Is Scott not is the best?" Stop it. Just
What?
say it in Spanish, and you'd be fine. You have to
Look,
go.
she speaks English way better than you speak Spanish.
Okay.
I just want to point this out because it's easy to make fun of people speaking English, and that's not their
I'm
language.
just making. All I'm saying is just speak your own language, and it just sounds better than to say, "Scott not is the best."
That is not the way that
Yeah.
Texas thinks. Texas is like, you're in America.
Well, and her dad had a whole nother family on the side. I mean, that's messed up. We all know people, not so much either who have done that or been affected by that. But then also, as we get to know Lydia, we're like, I get it.
Mona says Lydia knew that man was married. And you know what? That man might not have been married, but he was like, oh, shit, I'm married. He might have just been like, the hell with this. I am not dealing with this craziness for the rest of my damn life.
I'm married. Now will you leave? Will you leave now?
That might have really been what happened. Well, look. So we get that time with them in the getting the pedicure, or as Darren says, Lydia forgot to get a foot job. But we get to see Scott, and Scott decides, you know what? Look, things didn't work out with Lydia. I got a week and a half left here. I'm gonna make the best of my time in the DR. So he's gonna bring Liz in. She shows up, and we find out a number of things. The first thing is Scott is such a softie. He cried immediately.
Yeah. I saw that. First off, kudos to Scott. Because Scott's
Okay,
like,
let's hear
look, I
this.
paid to come out here to the DR. I want to have some DR sex. It's not happening with Lydia. So let me send in the sub and fly her in. Which he probably already had that plan because it wasn't like, hey, so I'm gonna fly you in next week. But regardless, good for him. But the way that he was all emotional, and he could be feeling those things. I'm not knocking him for that. I'm knocking him for crying. But here's the deal. It couldn't be me. You don't ghost me for 2 years. He kept emailing her, even though she would not respond. Kept messaging her over and over and over. So she finally checks her old email account. It couldn't be me. And then when you get back, like, we got to have a chat before I get to hugging and crying on you. We got to talk about a couple things before you even get. I wouldn't even pay to fly you to the DR.
Like Sedan's fan says, Scott is coming off as desperate. He'll take whatever, whenever, whoever. Whoever being Liz. But here's where we find out more of the details. Because first he said he hadn't been in contact with his ex. Then he said, well, she reached out to me. And then now we find out, no, he's been cyber stalking her for a year and a half. And she finally checks her quote unquote old email. In other words, the man she was seeing, they broke off. So she said, well, let me go check these old emails that I've ignored this entire time and put in the junk mail or do not read in the block segment. She went back and got those and was like, oh, well, I'm here to fight for my man.
So technically, he didn't lie. He hadn't been in communication with his ex. If I text your old number, I'm not in communication with you.
Do you really believe it was an old email?
If I send an email to your edu email address from college that you don't check, we're not in communication. I'm reaching out, but he has not been in communication with her. So technically, what a lie.
Thank you, Michelle. Scott has been lying this whole time, and he tried. Exactly. He tried. Look, Darren is like, as soon as she saw he was on 90 Day, the zombie came out. That's probably his last email. Hey, so we're shooting a TV show, and I'd love for you to come on. She's like, you know what? And Dina has a great point in this, too. Says, Scott said, I missed you. And she's like, I know you did. She wanted that free trip. Exactly, Dina. Exactly.
Yeah, I miss you so much. Word. Cool. Yeah, and so he was just way too. It was probably smothering her. Is to me what it seems like. I mean, just that would just be a bit much. She just wants to, hey, let's reconnect, let's have some fun, and see where it might lead.
Yeah.
But he is just, oh, I missed you so much, dude. Just that would be a whole lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And she's a lot younger too, so she's like, I'm in my 20s. I just want to have some fun.
Is she in her 20s?
Yeah, I think she's 29.
Okay. By the way, hey, shout out to your homie CJ. He's checking in from Facebook. Says steroids can make you overly emotional, so he's got an excuse for Scott crying too. See,
CJ, my man.
Long time, man.
My man.
One of the very beginning guys.
Yeah. I still have my fuck Ted Cruz candle in my bathroom downstairs. So
look, and JD Terrell is saying, no, Terrell, that SOB was in contact with her before he came to meet up with Lidia. Which is kind of what you were saying, though. You said he already has kind of like, hey, if this doesn't work out, use this ticket to come to DR. If not, I'll see you in Florida.
Plan B.
Or Z.
Yeah. Gotta be prepared. Gotta be prepared.
It's in this. Here's the thing that Liz said, that Scott started talking about marriage, and that freaked her out. So they broke up. I want you to pay attention to those words right there. She said, we broke up. No. You broke up with him. He still thought y'all were together because he said you disappeared. So here we talk about this communication again. And here we are once again in communication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't break up. You ghosted him.
Yeah. Well, she zombied him now. She kind of flipped out around and zombied him.
Yeah. And now she's back, and he's like, he picks her up, and she's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is great. I was like, okay, Hulk smash. Put her down.
Look, she was there for the trip. Like DJ said, she's there for a good time, not a long time. She's just there to do that. And hey, my funds are running low. I need some more money. Help me out. Like CDM White says, Magilla Gorilla slobbering her down is not what she's looking for.
Yeah, but I mean, Scott's just desperate. He's desperate to be loved by somebody. I mean, you could easily just say, hey, have fun with the 29-year-old. You left the Crypt Keeper. Have fun with this girl. Enjoy your time. And then you go back to the U.S. If anything happens again with Liz, great. Yeah. But he's just clenching on to anybody that shows him something. The fact that he's gone through this much time with Lidia, to me, says a lot.
Right. Yeah, very true. He's definitely, he wants his time on TV, let's be honest. I mean, he's going to try and make that work. And then was like, guys, if this doesn't work out, I've got a backup plan.
Yeah. And their kissing game, did you make any notes about that? I'm just looking at it, I was like, ugh. The way you're doing it is weird.
If it's one thing these reality TV dating shows tell you is that a lot of people have no idea how to kiss. Matthew and Anna, they don't kiss like they know each other. Right or wrong? And now Scott and Liz, like, she looks like, oh, I don't really want to, but I'm here and I need it for TV.
He kisses like a Pac-Man. It's just like, I'm out. That's just what it looked like. I was like, what are you doing? Trying to eat her face or what? Out.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Stop watching these. Stop watching porno to figure out how to get stuff done. It's not working. This is not working for some of y'all. Oh my God! Look, last couple, April and Valentin. They're leaving Santo Domingo. And April just shits all over Santo Domingo. And Valentin's like, yep, yo sé. He's like, I know you didn't like Santo Domingo. Because she's like, yeah, I'm so happy to leave. I did not like Santo Domingo. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. April's annoying. There, I said it. April's just annoying.
I want you to get that out. Because
I just had to.
You've been thinking that for a while.
Yeah, she's shitting on his home the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's. I feel it'd be very disrespectful. To what?
It's not like he didn't warn her. He told her.
Yeah, he warned her. Hey, this is not the resorts or whatever else. And I mean, I think Valentin's making too big a deal of her not wanting to take a shit at his mom's house. Like, that's disrespectful. But she just didn't like being there. But she was very judging. And she was trying to say, I hope I don't act like that. I made them feel like I judged them. I'm like, you did.
Yes.
You were judging everything about that place. Even the time you left from the airport, as you started driving out there, you're like, we're staying over here.
Yeah. Okay. That alone, right? Because even driving through the streets, she had a big issue with that. When they get to the hotel, she's like, looks old. At that point, though, what did he think was going to... And I get it. He thought he prepared her. He's like, look, it's not a big place. It's not this. We don't have the money. It's not like the resorts. But yeah, she can't help it. She's bougie as shit.
Yeah, she is. But I just don't understand. You've been going to the DR a lot. You got a business there. You're dealing in another country. Like, just have a little bit more manners about this, because you're really, to me, you're making it seem like you're better than all these people, and you live better than any of them. These people are living their regular lives. This is their Tuesday for them, for this little thing that you got a chance to go see, and she just shitted on it.
Exactly. You know, the thing about it too is, I think because it's so big, right? People skip past the parts that they don't need to see when you're here in America, right? Because there are places here in America where there's not running water either. You just don't have to see it if you don't want to. And just like for her, she didn't have to see it because she's on the resort at all times. Matter of fact, where her business is out by the resort.
Right.
Because it's dealing with, you know, the tourists, the high-end tourists. And come to think of it, it's actually not a bad business. Hey, somebody doesn't want to ride a bus with the rest of the common folk? Here, take one of my transports and we'll get you there. Because it's the thing that a lot of people do. So here is what it is with her. It's this mindset. But you know what you're dealing with. And you speak of Google for Anna. April should have goddamn used Google. As a doctor, as a business owner, as a gym owner, all the stuff that you are. And you're in Houston. I done been to Houston. Let's not act like it's all resorts. Okay?
Depends on what side of town.
Hey, that's my point.
Depends on what airport you fly into. You fly into Hobby, Houston's hood as fuck. You fly into Bush Intercontinental, Houston's beautiful.
That's why Hobby starts with an H.
Yeah. It's hood. So they leave and they go to what was the resort? Sousa or something like that? Go to this resort. Valentin's like, hey, my uncle needs me to go feed his dogs.
Yeah, that was absolutely hilarious. And then apparently he had to go find those dogs, breed those dogs, raise those dogs from puppies all the way up, because he's gone for like 3 days. And one of the things we noticed real quick, like Dina points out right here, April did some serious code switches. She went from sweet little baby to hood girl voice.
She sure did. I mean,
you said.
She went this very prim and proper all the time. All of a sudden, this motherfucker. I was like, her inner Samuel L. Jackson came out.
Yes. Like Sedan's fan said, that hood came out of her. It shook me. Yeah. All of a sudden, the hood came out. Her country accent came out. I was like, wait, where was all this before? Only thing she didn't do was just break out in some Spanish and cuss him out in Spanish too, which I wouldn't have been surprised if she did that.
Could you imagine having an argument that you got to like, and wait for the translate? That would just take the fun out of arguing. But you know what? Forget about it. I'm not even mad. I'm gonna let it go.
Well, let's be honest. we got iPhones, we got smartphones. It took the fun out of arguing with somebody on the phone because you can't hang up on them anyway. Because remember, you used to hang up with force. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. It's just like
now you gotta like hang up. You gotta block people. Block you.
That's
the way to hang up. That's the way to do it. You gotta block them now because I can hit end, and then you can send me text. And I was thinking, which is nothing worse than having an argument over the phone. You think it's over, then you start getting those texts. Bing, bing.
Yes. Look, here's the interesting thing. She decides after she can't find him, she goes to check on her business. She's got to go check on her business, right? Because that's wondering when this was going to happen. If she really has this business here, when is she going to come to find out? I had a guy talking. I'm like, well, he's American.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, this older gentleman, this older, fine black man is just there, helping him out. Come to find out.
That's older man. You said we dated years ago. I'm like, Jesus.
Like, okay, sugar daddy.
Yeah.
I thought it was just this, she has an older black man helping her. She's got this fine black man helping her out. Just this good-natured black. No, actually, that's her old man. Literally, old man. Like, what the hell is going on here?
And I thought that was a trip too. And then I'm just thinking to myself, okay, who broke up with who?
Okay, so first thing I thought was, he sees a little problem. He's like, oh, there's a way back in. But then when she wants to go find Valentin, it seems like Mike is like, yep, thank God I ain't got to deal with this crap no more.
This is that bullshit that I dealt with.
Yes.
I don't have to deal with that anymore. Here we go. Because
I'm just I'll find him for you. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, okay, if you were able to pull an April at his age, why didn't you keep her? But then the more I hear April, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I can only take so much of that. Too. The luster will wear off a little bit. Right. But so she has this business with her ex, and she's the boss, and then she's like, posse up, we're gonna go ride, we're gonna go find him.
Right. Yo, for real. Just like, let's go find him. She texts him. How you gonna go try and creep up on somebody and then text them, hey, send me a pin of where you are? Tell them what you're about to do. If you try to catch somebody in something, you don't do that. You roll up on them. This is how you know that she's still a little too bougie to understand this whole thing. Right?
No. She texted him and said, well, I'm on my way to your uncle's house. And then he texted his pin where he was, which is not at his uncle's house.
Of course, because he was down the street from the girl he was seeing, who wasn't spraying him with Lysol before he got into bed.
He's gonna let out some. Yeah, I took care of the dogs. Then I went to go hang out with my friends.
Michelle says her ex looked like he was scared of it. He recognized all of this, and he was just like, "Whew, thank God it's not me. I'll help." Isn't that him? Right? Isn't that him walking down the street right there? He was quick to point him out.
Yep, I'll let y'all go deal with that. Hey, go ahead. I'll sit here in the car, keep it warm.
Exactly. But here's an interesting thing, right? She gets out, and they get into this argument, of course, using the translator app, back and forth. And did you understand Valentin's point in saying, like, look, you're not going to talk down to me and my family just because you have more money? Did you at least understand where he was coming from, the prideful place that he was coming from in that space?
I did understand that. And, you and I were talking about this. I think that in a lot of cultures, especially Latin cultures, the man is in charge, right? And you're not going to be talked to that way. Here in America, you have what people call beta males that just let anybody talk to them any kind of way. You and I both would not let an April talk crazy to us like that. I'd walk away. I'd be like, I don't need all that. Yeah. I'm good. I don't need your money. I don't need you're beautiful and all that. You go be with someone else. I'm gonna go find my peace. But he felt disrespected, felt belittled, and then disrespected in front of his family. Like, you don't go back to your family like, so what did y'all think of April? They're just like, mijo, no.
It is a sense of entitlement that she has and feels like he should be grateful to be with her. And, it's there is a certain pride, right? And you talk about it being in Latin culture. I say it's West Indian culture at the same time. It's not even about male and female. There's a certain in the Caribbean and in the West Indies, there's a definite pride that's there regardless. I don't care. You will never talk to me like that. You know what I mean? And that's just, there is such a manner that you're not going to talk to anybody in that space. And I think that's what came out of him. Like, yo, you're not going to treat my family like this. I don't care how much money you. Then he's like, I'll pay you back. I'm like, yeah, bro, stop it.
Yeah, he's like, how much I'll give back to you, whatever you need. But yeah, there's no way I would let anybody, especially my girlfriend, talk to me that way.
Yes,
and be okay with it. And I think this is also why April didn't do well in the conventional dating world with other successful males. Because if they are also successful and don't really need your money, they're not going to put it with your bullshit.
So one of the things you said early on at the beginning of the season, when we first met her, you said this exact same thing, that, her dealing with other men who made what she made, she wants to be the one in charge. Well, there's a level to being in charge, and you've got to treat people in different. You've dealt with women who made more than you. I've dealt with women who made more than me, and there's no point that you or I would ever allow anybody to talk to us crazy in any kind of way, right? And that's the reason why, like, he's like, hold up, let me explain something to you real quick. All of us here in the DR work harder than any of you gringos. And like Dina says, how the hell did she not know what a gringo was, being from Houston?
I don't know. Maybe that wasn't part of the Babbel packets that she bought when she was learning Spanish. I don't know. Maybe they took that word out.
It wasn't even in Duolingo? Come on, man.
Yeah, but I applaud Valentin for sticking up for himself and calling it out that, as he goes, no matter how educated she is, she has no manners.
Right.
And why would you want to be with somebody like that? And he's just like, yeah, go ahead, leave. Which I feel like April is like, I can't believe you're going to try to walk away from all this and everything. You don't want this. He's just like, I'm good.
Because money can't buy you class. If you don't have it, if it's not in your DNA, it doesn't matter. You still cannot spell it. I
stopped dating someone many, many years ago because I was going to a friend's wedding, and it was going to be at someone's backyard, but the weather was bad, so they wanted him to do it inside the house. And it is what it is. People, how they get married, what they want. I was dressed. She was dressed. We get there. We had to take our shoes off. And she was annoyed by that. Then we leave. She's like, I was dressed too cute to be at a wedding like that. And I was just like, we're not going to work out. Those are my friends. And I don't care how cute you think you are. You're not above them. And maybe they don't have your money or whatever, but they're in love. This is how they did it. It was a crazy thing because everybody's just sitting around chilling. And then the groom is just sitting in the kitchen smoking cigarette. He's like, all right, y'all ready to do this? And they got up and just kind of stood the thing. I mean, it was nothing fancy, but the fact that she judged them, that just turned me off and said, that's what you're going to be like with these folks. What are you going to be like with the rest of the world if we were to be together long term? So I was like, yeah, this is not going to work out. That was our
you got
last
to learn the thing. And I think you have to learn how to interact with different people on different levels, right? There's a reason why you can talk to the janitor and the CEO and still get respect from both. There's a reason why I can do the exact same thing, because we understand and respect everyone. To get respect, you got to give respect. And she gave absolutely none. Like DJ says, I'm glad he stuck up for himself, because literally he had to, man. CD on White says, pride is strong in those Dominican men. You don't make enough money to bitch me. Thanks.
Oh, that's good.
I like that. Now here's the thing. Dina pointed this out too. There's literally a restaurant in Houston called Gringos, and you know what, Dina? Here's the thing. While I know this restaurant, right? Because it's like a Qdoba, it's like a Moe's Southwest. There was one in Charleston, And I remember going in there, and I'll tell you the reason why I remember it. First of all, I liked the food; it was cool. But I remember going in there one day ordering a burrito, and when I said, "All right," he said, "What do you want in it?" I said, "I want chicken, I want some rice, and I want some cheese." He goes, "What else?" "That's it." He goes, "What are you, 5?" I said, "Yes." Now make my damn burrito. Keep your damn attitude to yourself. Listen here, Mr. White Man. Make my burrito, gringo.
You and your no veggies. It's just next time we go out to eat, I'm like, I'm gonna get the steak, the baked potato, asparagus. He'll take the chicken tenders and fries.
And when they give you the chicken tenders, don't be mad. Look, man, it looks like getting to the end of this at some point soon. I think we're 10 episodes in, so almost at the end of this season. Well, I think this season actually went longer than the first two, because I want to say one of them only went like 8 or 9 episodes. So interesting to see where this goes out. Next week is going to be an interesting one as well, too, because we see Everton and Jordan really getting into it over the money that, she's been providing, thinking that he's just spending it only on him.
Mm-hmm.
He got kids. He's got to take care of them. Where do you think that money was going?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it.
It's
but
naive. That means you have to be naive.
Mm-hmm. And then you still have Valentin and Carlos. They're going to meet up again for the first time since calling off the wedding. So this should be interesting as well. So, looking forward to
apparently Anna's got to put it on Matthew.
Yes.
I couldn't tell if they're about to get into some BDSM or what, but I was like, get it, Matthew.
He's not going to know what to do. She's probably going to be like, okay, he's asleep. Hey, what you doing?
She got to dip back to Carnival real quick. I left my purse at the house. I'll be back.
I'll be back. Yeah, she's going to pull a Valentin. Hey, don't forget, Wednesday, we are back, Married at First Sight, reunion part 1. All right? Let you know, this season has gone on forever. We may have something in store for you, so make sure you're there for us on Wednesday, because we may have an extra to do once this is over. We got 2 more episodes to go for Married at First Sight. Then, of course, Sunday, back for Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. And then next Monday, right back here to see Matthew pass out before he gets the cookie.
Good.
I don't think he's going to make it. Before we get out of here, man, let's see. Karen made a comment here. Just want to pull this up. It says, Terrell is so bougie. And to which we say, how bougie are you, Terrell?
I am. And I embrace it. I am bougie. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not like April bougie. I used to go to Tijuana once a month for work, and didn't judge anything I saw with those folks, and met some amazing, hardworking people that didn't have the same living conditions I had here. So I'm not that bougie, but do I like to smell nice when I come on the live knowing nobody can smell me? Yes, I do that. And if I do get cologne, I'm just like, I'm a big believer. There's things you don't do cheap. Clothes, cologne, toilet paper. Never go cheap.
Especially that last one.
Yeah, never go cheap. So
out of those 3, one you'll pay for dearly. You wipe your ass with a paper bag.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with me being bougie, and hopefully there's other bougie people in this chat with me that are like, Terrell, I can relate.
Yeah. Michelle says, especially toilet paper. And JD says, I'm with you. Embrace your bougie, Terrell.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of bougie. You all have that. If you're not bougie, you have that bougie friend that you like going out to eat with, because they're going to pick a really nice spot. So, Yanni comes down to Austin, Texas. If we hang out, I'm like, hey, we're going to go here. it's not going to be Gringos. Tell you that. It's going to be someplace really good.
Yeah, Gringos definitely doesn't have bacon hanging in a smoked casket.
Oh, that hanging bacon. That was still, that appetizer is delicious.
Oh man, I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm just Terrell.
Make sure you follow us at Yanni Rude, at Just Terrell, and at RGRT Pod.
Yeah, send us some of your random thoughts or some of the bullshit you find on the internet. We'll talk about it on the regular show.
It's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts Podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.